Super Burnout. Yes, it's true. There is a super burnout happening as we speak. The industry is, I guess the best way to put it is they're getting tired of superhero movies. From Variety, Super Burnout, with most superhero movies flopping, and Marvel and DC's 2025 slate reverse an unprecedented box office drought. Let me scroll down here and start with right there at the top, Alan.
All right. Sony Pictures billed Venom: The Last Dance as the final chapter in Tom Hardy's Alien symbiote buddy comedy franchise. But with its 51 million domestic opening weekend, 44 and 55% lower than the previous two installments, the movie also signifies a continued twilight of superhero cinema as the dominant force at the box office. Movies used to be an indispensable revenue driver for the film industry. In 2018, 2019, the average gross for a superhero fair was more than $1 billion. This year, it's half that, even with the world-breaking success of Deadpool and Wolverine. In fact, the Ryan Reynolds Hugh Jackman vehicle is the only comic book movie that could qualify as a hit since Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in June 2023. Since then, the genre has suffered extraordinary box office drought. Film after film, from Flash to the Marvels to Madam Web, open to, at best, a shrug and at worst, outright rejection. Joker Folie à Deux is on track to earn an ignominious distinction of making less than its entire box office run than its predecessor's 248 million global weekend in 2019.
Wow. Now, and there's a chart here. Superhero movies average global gross starting in 2000, right here, with 272.5 million, all the way through. Look at this, 2012, 1.1 billion. This is average, right? And 29, look at this, the heyday here, 2016 through 2019, 1.1 billion average gross for superhero movies. 2020 was
pandemic. Yeah, the pandemic.
I mean, that was the off year, obviously. And now you see, just looking at the chart, it's chopped in half. I think the chart says it all. That's the average grosses. What do you think, Alan? Your thoughts?
Well, I said it before. It's not that we're having superhero fatigue for superheroes that are not Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. Other than that, we're, it's like, when you take all those heroes off the table and give us heroes we don't want, like the Marvels, the Flash, this is the result you get.
Yeah, and I think it's, partially like, look, I think event movies will always be big. Avengers, Justice League, Deadpool and Wolverine was, in a sense, an event movie, right? Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the costume from the comic books was an event. That's how little, I think, giving the people what they want, that's all you have to do. And so with Deadpool and Wolverine, teaming up Deadpool and Wolverine, everyone knew there were going to be a lot of surprise cameos, not a secret. So we got to see, lots of characters on screen together that wouldn't normally be. That was an event. But I think the days of putting out any sort of superhero whatever, like a third Venom movie, that's done.
Yeah. Well, that's what they did. They went all in on the word superhero and didn't consider which superheroes were the ones that were going to pay off. I mean, Shang-Chi, the Eternals, Blue Beetle, who knows these outside of hard fans? Because in order to get $1 billion, you have to appeal to everybody in the world. And unfortunately, these heroes don't appeal to everybody in the world.
Yeah, I just, again, I think it comes down to the era's now over. And here's the reason it's actually a bad thing. Okay. And the bad thing is this: if a lot of people go to the movies like they did in 2019, you know what they do? They go see other movies. Yeah, well, that superhero movie's too packed. Let's go see this little horror movie, this little indie movie. How about this thing? How about that thing? It lifts the entire industry up, right? You've got something everybody wants to see. More people are in the theater buying popcorn and considering other options. They see, look, every time I go to the AMC, and actually don't mind it, 20 minutes of commercials. Now, I know that like I don't have to be there on time. I've seen most of the trailers, or I hear there's new trailers. You've got that sort of padded window to be a little late, and I don't mind it. I love movie trailers. So, and I like seeing them in the theater. Gone are the days of seeing a movie trailer for the first time in a theater. You see movie trailers for the first time on your phone or computer, which is, I think, sad. But I love movie trailers. So by bringing so many people in, you get a taste of what your other movie options are. And this is hurting the entire industry. Look at that chart. Look at how things have dropped. So it's not just hurting superhero movies, it's hurting the industry as a whole. And there isn't something to replace it. And look, Hollywood theatrical movies in the theater go through phases. There were action movie phase. Everything was an action movie. Everything's a sequel. They haven't found what the thing is that will replace the superhero movie. I don't think it's video games. It's not video games. And I think really what's happened, it's death by 1,000 cuts. There are a lot of other distractions. Movies have become increasingly expensive, and people are just as happy to be entertained by TikTok as a theatrical movie. And I really don't think, other than the event films, which might be 1 or 2 a year, this is our new reality. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, the upside is I went to see the Conclave yesterday, and what was cool to see was during the trailers to see Blue Fox Entertainment have a film come out in theaters. You know, a lot of these distributors that come to us and give us all these direct to streaming films to review, they're getting their theatrical debut, and I think that's a great thing.